All right, everybody, what's going on this Tuesday night? The Iceman here on the Iceman V2013 YouTube channel on the Iceman Wrestling Network. And I watched a lot of videos today, and there was one video that caught my eye by XS Ranter. It was about, why do grown men it's like we really get involved in the world of professional wrestling. It was basically about grown men crying. It's only wrestling. It's scripted and whatnot. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about that. For the simple fact is, when you're an older wrestling fan like myself, Andre Corbeil is another one. There's a number of older wrestling fans here on YouTube as well. But when you're an older wrestling fan and you grew up through the earlier days, like I grew up with the NWA, and prior to the WCW days, the old WWF days, and when you grow up through that era and you've seen everything that all promotions threw at you back then, and then you go through the evolution of professional wrestling, and now here we are in 2015. When I started watching wrestling, it was like in the late 70s. I watched what I could. I read a lot of magazines because TV was very, very limited. It was prior to cable coming around. I did get to watch the old WWF on the old UHF channels. A lot of people don't even know what those channels are, but the older wrestling fans and older adults would know this. But anyway, after watching wrestling for so many years and knowing it's scripted, as we all do, people ask, why do you get so involved? Why do you get so upset? Why does somebody winning the WWE World Heavyweight title, why does that bother you? It's only a show. It's entertainment. But like I said, growing up through those early days until we got to this point in time, wrestling just had this some sort of hold on you, and the younger fans that are watching wrestling now, the real younger fans, I'm talking like anywhere, 4 or 5 on up or whatever until, early teenage years, they get upset because they latch on to a superstar they idolize, like the fans that idolize John Cena. And yes, I am wearing a John Cena shirt tonight for the simple fact I watched a video by Neverfold. I respect his opinion, but he said the worst wrestler ever in the business is John Cena. And I told him I disagreed with it respectfully, and he agreed with me to disagree respectively. But these young kids, they latch on to their heroes, and I can understand how they feel when the guys they idolize don't win, or if they lose the title. And it's much the same for us older guys. For the simple fact is, we grew up through the generations of professional wrestling, and we get upset because we know that wrestling can be better. The product can be better. A lot of people put down the WWE Raw show last night. I thought it was okay. It was average. I thought the last segment was great with Brock Lesnar and the Authority. But we get upset because we've seen how great wrestling can be. And you look at the WWE for an example. You look at their stars they have. In your own mind, that the WWE can put out a much better product with those superstars that they have on that roster than the product they're putting out today. And that's why us older fans get upset. It's not because maybe a wrestler that we like loses. It's basically because we know the product can be so much better. It's all in the booking, it's all in the writing, um, and that's why a lot of us fans, I mean, to be quite honest with you, we could book a better Raw than the people that are booking Raw right now. Without a doubt in my mind, I could name 10, 20 YouTubers in the YWC that could book a better Raw than what we've seen, myself included. And, you know, when people say, well, why do you adults get so upset? This is the reason why. We know that product can be better with what they got. Now, if they didn't have the talent, then you could understand a little bit, and then you probably wouldn't get upset because you'd say, well, look what they got. They can't do much with what they got. A lot of people say that about TNA. I think TNA's roster isn't the best, but I think they utilize their roster as good as they can. Maybe they can up it a little bit better, but I think for the most part, they're utilizing their roster as well as they can. In the WWE, I think the Zigglers could get, more involved, like in the world title match. I think Cody Rhodes ought to be Cody Rhodes. We all know Kofi Kingston is a great wrestler. They pushed him once against Randy Orton. It didn't last that long. I mean, there's guys back there. They're pushing Ryback. That's a great thing. Wade Barrett, they start to push. They stop the push. They do this with a lot of wrestlers. They're bringing in Kevin Owens. They're pushing Kevin Owens. But Kevin Owens eventually will feel the same fate as everybody else has. People complain about John Cena being in the role he's in. Why are you complaining? He's not in the world title picture. The guy is still a big commodity in the WWE. Regardless whether you like him or hate him, you need to respect that situation. It's a moneymaker for the WWE. Could I book him a little better? Damn right I could. I definitely could. I would turn John Cena heel. I mean, I know a lot of people would love it, and I know there's those out there that wouldn't like it, but he'd still be in the WWE. He'd turn heel. He'd get more respect from a lot of the haters out there, and things could be a huge change. It's much like, when Hulk Hogan turned heel when he went to WCW. He was face there for a short time and he turned heel. But this is it. This is with us adults. We're much like the kids. The kids idolize their superstars. They get upset because their star don't win. For us, we get upset because we know that storyline can be so much better than what it is. And, especially when you followed wrestling for, since the late 70s, I'm going to tell you something. It's hard to kick the habit. Wrestling, for me, is an addiction. I love all promotions that I can watch. I give them all opportunities. I give them all chances. I voice my opinions, whether a show could be better or, if I thought the show was not so good or lousy, I always state that. And I also praise them when I think they're good. But again, Excess Ranter pointed it out. It was sort of funny when I was watching that video when he's trying to tell the adults that, it's only wrestling. Why are you getting so upset? But for me, I get upset because I know after watching it for so many years, with the superstars and the talent the WWE has or any other promotion, I know they can put on a better product. And maybe it's just because they don't really care so much. I don't know. I don't think that's the reason. But anyway, that's my opinion. I don't know what yours is. I'll always watch wrestling regardless of how it is, and I'll still always criticize it if I know it can be much better. This is the Iceman here on this Tuesday night. Peace out, everybody. Have yourself a great night.